Seeing now at the upper levels of it, you're starting to see guys get a flat rate with no win bonus.
Yeah, or maybe like 150 to show and then 50K to win.
Right.
So a little incentive to win, but they're still getting that show money. So they're training hard, they're fighting hard. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Disturbed. This is the Down with the Sickness song, one of the most cliche walkout songs in MMA history. Gotta love it. It's popular for a reason.
When we would,
this fight was actually supposed to be Justin Reichsberg versus Nico Echeverry, and man, that was the second time it was booked. I was looking forward to that fight more than almost any other fight on the card, and for whatever reason, Reichsberg had to pull out again.
I think Justin's having a hard time staying healthy, and it's unfortunate because that's a guy who has been knocking on the door multiple times. He's gotten to that point where maybe one win away, and then that fight's always been gone the wrong way for him, and it's unfortunate because he's, we talked about Daniel now being in that weird spot where he can dominate on the local level. But Justin's been so close to getting to that next level and just hasn't had a chance to taste it.
Yeah. And man, Nico, what a fun guy to just talk with and train with and then watch fight. A good example of a guy who's looking to pressure guys, take them down, but stay as active as humanly possible.
Right.
Dude's cardio machine. This will be a fun one.
Nico's one of those guys who, when you see him, he doesn't look like he doesn't look particularly strong. He doesn't look particularly intimidating. Dude's got some skills, and especially when he gets you down, he's got really good pressure, can be really controlling.
And he does great in the gym, but man, he's the kind of guy who just shows up to perform. He always performs well in his fights. One of his earlier fights, he fought a guy, I forget his name. I want to say one of the Ohana instructors, black belt, and Nico lost a split decision, a fight I thought he won against just a guy with a pedigree greater than his own. And, Nico always brings it. I've been very happy to watch him fight on this local circuit for as long as we have now. It comes out of ACS, American Combative Systems, Drew Radicek's gym. They've been around a long time.
They have been. They're also affiliated with Team Took now. Everybody wants a piece of Travis.
Yeah, very rich martial arts community here in Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match is scheduled for
It's horrible. We'll do one later.
lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting under the momentum, Porsche blue corner, is this 5 feet, 8 inches tall and weighing in 158 pounds. Representing Dark Lane, he holds a professional record of 4 victories, only 1 defeat. This is Joshua Hill.
Josh Hill, decent record, man, an athlete. And maybe, took the fight short notice, did bust weight by 3 pounds.
He's like the anti-Alex Morono.
I love Nico. I don't know how he's sitting still right now.
I think maybe a lot of people try to stay as calm as possible right up until that point.
I mean, I think when you're about to fight to the theoretical death, you gotta get pumped. You gotta be ready to rock and roll.
There is something to letting it go too early. And the last time you were in my corner, we had to wait like 10 minutes to walk because my sorry-ass opponent wasn't ready. It was really frustrating for me because I was hyped up, ready to go, and then it was almost like I had to start over.
Yeah, Nico moving well. He doesn't seem like he's starting too slow. I'll tell you, in Hill, he's landed a good jab there. The guy's strong, fighting as a southpaw. Nico is a pressure fighter through and through, though.
Oh, big left hand.
That punch was solid at score, but Nico was moving his head with the punch.
There goes
taking
Nico
away a
gets
lot
in
of big
there.
impact. See, now this is where Nico does well. And even if he doesn't finish this takedown, he's going to keep shooting and keep pressuring, and eventually that pace will wear on guys. You know, I'm sure he's very strong. Having a really stout, muscular frame can sometimes not pay off the greatest in the later part of fights.
Yeah, round 3's tough for guys built like him, and Nico's not going to get tired. And Nico wants this. He wants an ugly fight.
Nico's hands are together. He'll finish this takedown. Okay, that's a good transition from that single leg, or that double leg to the single leg. Back into a high crotch finish attempt. Looks like Hill maybe trying to hit a counter single. Neutralized with the double
What's the
switch.
answer here? I mean, because you don't want to bail, because it seems like the first person to let go is going to be the one who goes down.
Yeah.
Well, Nico does let go, lands an elbow, but now he's in trouble of being taken down here.
Yeah, he did pummel that underhook in on the right side, looked to turn. So, you know, and Nico knows if he's going to pressure fight, he likes to keep his opponent's backs on the cage. You know, even though there's not a lot happening, it's essentially being in like the top guard position with no strikes. He's still at least winning from the top or the front position. Hill going in for another switch. This one's going to have some success. If he can circle out towards his left a little bit more, he'll take that cage away from Nico, and he could surely hit this reversal.
Nico reaching down for that ankle. I think he'd have more success reaching for the other one.
Nico re-switching Hill. It's the most switches I've seen in a long
digging
time.
in on that neck.
Oh, Nico's got good subs. Hill immediately giving up position to protect his neck. And that's always good to do if it means you don't have to lose by submission. You know, Hill with good 2-on-1 wrist control makes it really hard for Nico to advance with just one arm.
And did a good job, because it looked almost like Nico was about to take his back, and he did a good job spinning to where he put his body in a position where it would be very difficult to get his back taken.
Yeah, using the cage essentially as a wedge. Nico got his seatbelt grip. It looks like he's got it back. You know, and doing all this grappling, it really just fills your arms and shoulders up with blood. So when you do stand back up and have to strike, you're a little slower than you'd like to be.
Well, especially like you said, when they get the guys who's carrying around more muscle mass.
Yeah. Not a fantastic grappling. Oh man, look at that! And Nico just
right back in,
pushing him away from the guard and shooting right back in. You know, but to Hill's credit, you know, has had whizzers in, has been hitting switches, wrist control. He's making all the right moves, but I think it's just Nico's pace that's really wearing on him. And you can already see it in Hill's face. I mean, he's in the fight for sure, but you know, he's wearing the pace, the cardio aspect now, and Nico looks like he's at home.
I think a lot of the Nico, I think he knows he can't finish a rear naked from right here, so a lot of it is just trying to see what he can get Hill to do, to maybe expose something here. So he keeps throwing that arm across, maybe hoping that he'll give him a little bit more of his back so he can finish that choke.
Yeah.
Hill doing a good job of realizing this isn't it.
Yeah, this is, you know, he had a tricky lock on Hill's leg there with his own leg extending out, similar to that broomstick. He's got one strong hook in. Oh, Nico's looking to block the arm. A more modern style of back control.
Yeah, finally got to his back. Now he doesn't have a lot of time, though. 10 seconds here, yeah. Looks like we'll see a round 2, but good way to finish the round for Nico.
Yeah, it's a clear round for Nico. Now let's see the body language of these two guys. You know, I'd be curious to see Hill's skill set. I don't think I've seen him fight live yet. You know, impressive thus far. You know, defended very well. Had some pretty strong punches in the beginning. this is Hill's 5th or 6th fight. I think he knows exactly what a round 2 and round 3 feels like. He looks ready to go. And Nico's just the king of pressure.
Still some heavy breathing over here for Hill. 10 more minutes of that's a long time.
Yes, it is. And Nico already just using feints very well.
Nice step in uppercut there.
Nico with his head movement.
Yeah, Nico's picking a spot to dive in, basically.
He's inching in just close enough so Hill throws a strike, misses, so Nico can shoot.
And Nico, he doesn't want to get into a kickboxing match. He knows that that's not his game.
No.
But he'll do it long enough until he sees an opening.
Yeah, Nico's always had success in his amateur and now pro career. And I think the old saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And this style works for him very well. And again, even in his last fight, he lost, but he used the same pressure, and I felt he was the more effective fighter. Hill looking for the switch now into a Kimura. Now he does have his hands together. If he can break Nico's grip, he could put Nico in danger, but he's bailed on it now. Nico using a single leg to go to a high crotch, then to go to a double. Now back to a single. This is chain wrestling 101.
I think he's struggling with that single leg. He wants to find a double leg, but Hill's doing a good job of avoiding letting him put his hands together there.
Man, so we went from the single leg to the double to the high crotch to the duck under the back take. That's something you'll see UFC 2-time champion Daniel Cormier do a lot. Use that essential like head on the outside single or high crotch position to duck under and get the back.
These knees to the thigh,
they hurt.
That's gonna add up.
That's gonna hurt tomorrow. Those will hurt now too. That's relatively thin muscles there over that femur. Nico got some good leverage. I guarantee you, Hill stands up. He's
gonna feel those, yeah.
And man,
and that makes, we talked about the third round being tough for a guy like him anyway. That's gonna make it even tougher.
Yeah,
Hill really needs to change the way this fight's going. So he's almost got like a body triangle here. His left leg isn't in a hook position. It's all the way across his waist. So he's not controlling the legs, but he does have that body lock.
That's under the chin.
That's going to finish, yeah.
And
wow.
Finish. Man, to Nico's credit, he had a tough opponent in Reichsberg. Reichsberg pulls out with relative short notice. And, he gets this Josh Hill, who is not an easy fight.
Not a slouch, yeah.
Nico with an impressive finish.
Yeah, that was interesting to go. Normally you see the chain is getting to the hooks and then locking in on the back, and he went to a body lock, way earlier than you normally expect, and was able to finish from there. That was really interesting and impressive.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he doing? And he's got it figured out.
Yeah, and it looks like his heart rate's already settled back down. He has such a fine pace for fighting. And then there are few guys as genuine and nice as Nico, too.
Oh, it's
good to see success with guys like that. Hard-working, humble. He put in his work. Good for Nico. Good finish.
Absolutely.
Declaring the winner by way of submission through the rear naked choke, Nico Echeverry.
And you're right, it is nice to see the humble guys be successful.
Yeah.
And I think Andrew Craig was a good example of that when he made it. I think when you made it, it was a good example of that guy who's just, you've never been a smack talker, just put your head down and work. And it is good to see those guys have that kind of success.
That puts Nico at 5-2 as a professional. He gets one more win, 6-2. That's a good record. That's a good ratio. If he can get maybe 2-3 more wins in a row, that puts him in a position to take higher regional fights, tougher opponents.
Yeah, I'd still honestly like to see that Risework fight because I think that's a real measuring stick for him. You know what I mean? Like if he's able to beat Justin Risework, then suddenly we're talking about this guy's for real.